Hello once again, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get into this week's episode, as always, we want to mention our sponsors that help us bring the show to you for free each and every week on whichever platform you choose to listen. Thanks to Angelo's Pizza, they provide us with the delicious delight of pepperoni or cheese pizza for you at our live events. If you want to try more than just those, one of the other great dishes that they have to offer, or specialty pizzas, head to Angelo's on Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. Or maybe you're just looking for a date night or a place to propose. It's good for that too. Thanks also to Pollyanna DIY. They make all sorts of custom pins and other items like t-shirts and more. So check out Pollyanna DIY. Thanks, of course, to Smart Mark Video for taking care of all of our live recording needs. We've had Robles working overtime as of late with the live streams, and they, of course, then record the show so you can watch it back if you missed it, whether it be at smartmarkvideo.com, where you can purchase it on DVD or download, as well as smvod.com for on demand. And as we talk about streaming, make sure you sign up for independentwrestling.tv. Use the code ABSOLUTE and get a 20-day free trial. You can watch all sorts of shows from the AIW archives with our ever-changing lineup that is on there as we rotate shows in and out, along with plenty of other independent wrestling promotions. That's independentwrestling.tv. Use the code ABSOLUTE and get yourself a 20-day free trial. And with that, we roll into this week's episode, where we talk about the show that took place July the 25th, 2019 at the Winchester Music Tavern in Lakewood. Sekimoto Takes Cleveland. We're joined today by Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham, DCR, Alex Worldwide Keller.
Worldwide.
As always, AIW owner John Thorne. My name is Steve Guy, your moderator of sorts. And if you listened to last week's episode, we kind of talked a little bit about what it takes to bring in an international star like Sekimoto, and getting together with a couple other promotions. We share the flight, so maybe you saw him at other shows as well or watched them. I know he did GCW, but it was our marquee guy here. We had the opportunity to bring him in to Cleveland, which is a very rare thing, and that's something that we definitely took advantage of. And this, of course, took place the week before Absolution. So we were all geared up for that, and then, I don't know, Dr. Dan, what do you think? Were people pretty pumped a week out from Absolution?
I think it's now like a weird, just so happens to fall on the tradition of like the week eve of a big show. All of a sudden now we have like a pre-show to it, because we had it for Summer Party Massacre with the Winchester show 6 days before, and then
it was all
it just so happenstance, but it was like a weird, like almost tradition type thing now.
Yeah, it was all kind of like just by coincidence, I guess.
Do you think that helps a little bit? Because your concern is that it was maybe going to hurt Absolution or maybe hurt this, but I don't know. It's almost like it got people more pumped going to Absolution.
I think like you got to have a hook if you're going to go that close.
Uh-huh.
And the Sekimoto thing, I kind of talked about it last week, but it was kind of like a FOMO situation, you know what I mean? And it's like,
sure.
I saw like, oh man, Sekimoto, like.
Yeah, this was happening. We were all at the training school the one day.
Yeah, and I was like, man.
And you got the message like, do we do it?
I wonder.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe, I don't know. And, even still, like, tickets weren't like gangbusters, you know what I mean? Like, this one was a hard ticket to sell.
Yeah.
And, which was a little concerning. But, I didn't want to miss out on it either, you know what I mean? So it was one of those things where I was like, hey, I hit up Brett Lauderdale and I was like, I think I could add another date if he would be willing to do it, and like you just go from there and you work out the travel and everything else. And like I said last week, you got to like submit it, like you have to like submit like a formal offer. You know what I mean? In writing on company letterhead, which does not even exist. I got to like make it in Microsoft Word, and like put a logo on there, but it's very official. So
We did end up packing that place though, and
it's hard. Like I said, it wasn't a sure thing.
Yeah.
Tickets were like, they weren't gangbusters.
we had the rare opportunity of people being able to walk up and buy tickets, and it's funny because as you talk about trying to sell tickets, one of the thoughts that we all had collectively was like, oh look, this is Christmas in July. Do we try to go with that theme just to get people out?
Yeah,
which we didn't, but
yeah, we were trying to think of just like different themes and stuff like that, and I was just like, man, Sekimoto Takes Cleveland. We could just rip off that Jason Takes Manhattan poster and go from there.
that's what we did. The surprising thing was, from the Winchester show previously to this, I think that we were then told that somehow the maniacs that showed up increased bar sales by quite a bit.
Yeah, so this show, they said they sold like something like upwards of 25% more alcohol or something, or maybe it might have been like 35% more, somewhere in there. It was a very significant amount of money more. Like they sold a shit ton of alcohol for this show.
You AIW fans, you guys, I don't want to say you have a problem, but I know your feel.
I mean,
This coming from you.
We don't have a problem with your possible, maybe alleged problem.
it could have been, maybe just like summertime, Thursdays, people are more like inclined.
Thursday.
Now, I do have a theory, because this is our first show since we collectively were hyping up the White Claw, and I know that they
Nah, I don't think this
plowed
White Claw.
through White Claw on that night.
I think I don't think it's that. I think
This was our first post 4th of July show.
I think it's more.
I'm
of,
really looking forward to whatever the next thing everyone talks about all the time is, because goddamn.
I think the only reason why people drink White Claw is because it's very light. You know what I mean? And like,
It tastes good, yeah.
no, it's just like if you drink a beer, like that you've just drank a beer, whether it's light or not. Like, you feel some bloating and some like it's heavy.
You don't- yeah, you
It's
don't
still
feel the
fucking
bloating.
bubbles and shit. What the fuck?
You don't really get that bloating
don't-
on the claw.
You don't get that on White Claw. You
Yeah,
know.
but you also get like a fucking monster headache and like
Parker
a dehydration headache.
Parker Pierce credits his weight loss to switching from
I don't think you do
PBR
with
to
it.
White Claw.
I fucking
You don't
do.
get the dehydration, but
I get,
you're
like, fucking-
hydrating with it, because it legitimately is
You are
also
not-
soda
no,
water.
I hydrate more with a fucking natural light than I do with a goddamn White Claw. And if I'm costing us a White Claw sponsorship, I'm sorry, but
It's actual soda water.
Somebody's phone's by one of these microphones. It's making a bubbly noise in my ear. But
I don't know.
Blah, 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 blah.
Went over here.
no, I mean it just goes up and down. But we can continue. Yeah, I mean they sold a shit ton of alcohol though.
Well, good on you guys. Keep doing it.
That's our record, place to place.
Well, I'm sure that we've sold far more alcohol at other places. I know that we've sold not this class out of virtually all alcohol at certain points.
Yeah.
The Odeon does well.
I've never got some hard numbers from the Odeon, but
Did some
regardless,
damage at the Funhouse unofficially recently.
yeah, I think I really think it's because it was summertime. People are just more inclined to be out and about in the summertime, and I think
Yeah.
that's why people were partying a little harder.
Well, I guess we no big changes on this one. The big draw was
Oh, there was
Sekimoto.
some nightmare shit that happened that day.
Was
but-
there?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
whole logistic thing.
Yeah,
What,
well,
go ahead, Dr. Dan.
well, we'll get to that.
All right.
Get there.
I guess I'll start with Sekimoto flies into Cleveland. Once we work this deal out, we decide that he's going to fly directly into Cleveland, and then he'll go on his way in a car to the East Coast. But I believe I picked Sekimoto up, and I think
Was he with Kiku?
no, he was alone. And Kiku Taro is always good to have when you bring in a Japanese talent, because there is a crazy language barrier all the time with all the people from Japan. So
Was Saki?
he landed but I realized I didn't have his phone number, he didn't have my phone number, and I'm doing just loops at the airport, and then I saw him, but I had already passed,
Yeah.
so I couldn't pull. I had to do another loop around,
Right.
and because you can't miss him, he's gigantic Japanese
Oh
man.
yeah, it's massive.
And then I
Big boy.
then I do a loop and he's not there anymore. So then I do another loop and he's not there anymore, and I'm like, where is this guy? And finally, I went in, and he was just I like parked and like I went into the airport, and he was just sitting inside because there's air conditioning in there.
It was hot. Yeah.
It was hot as fuck.
Fairness to him.
Yeah, and I think he just wanted to go to sleep if I recall. I took him to his hotel. I checked him into his hotel. Oh no, he wanted to go to the gym.
Yeah, he went to the
instantly.
gym.
Yeah, he went to the gym. You took him to the gym.
He wanted to go to the gym instantly. So I took him to his hotel, and I checked him in, and then he says, 1 hour? So then he wanted to wait 1 hour to go to the gym. So like I had to go kill time for an hour. I went back. He made me get this weird Japanese social media application on my phone called Line. And this is how, like, the luchadors use WhatsApp, Line. He's like, you Line? And I was like, what is that? And he's just showing me on his phone like an app. And I had to add this app, and then I put my phone number into his phone on the app. And, I installed it, and then there's a QR code, and he scanned the QR code that was on my new account.
I wonder if it translates.
It does.
Okay.
It does, but it's like it's like this. I don't know. I never heard of it. So I had to let him know, when I was back. And then there's a BP and 7-Eleven combo next to
Right by the 4
hotel,
points.
yeah.
next to the hotel, and he wanted to go there. He goes, 7-Eleven, very big in Japan. And he wanted to go to 7-Eleven. It's real bad in America. And he went in, and he got a piece of 7-Eleven pizza. And he ate that, and I took him to Old School Iron.
And then I saw videos of him just straight shrugging like 150, 200-pound dumbbells.
Oh, it was insane. Like, Dom was there working out, and like I was like, well, I guess I'll do a little workout. And me and Dom were working out. And
Getting
Sekimoto,
emasculated by the boy.
dude, he stayed for 3 hours or more, like just nonstop, like until Old School Iron closed.
Didn't the next day? Didn't he get up in the morning with Eric Ryan and go or something like that?
Yeah, he went with Eric Ryan. Like, he just wanted to go to the gym nonstop. I think he bought some. He might have bought some Old School Iron merch. I'm not sure. But
It's a fine establishment.
I mean, you don't get that big just hanging out in your hotel room.
I put a video up on Instagram, I think, of him shrugging like it was like 200-pound dumbbells or something.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing. Like it was.
It's a little bit more than me, yeah.
It was insane. And he just wanted to stay in there. He just loves the gym.
It shows.
Yeah, and he didn't want to eat or anything. He just wanted to go right back to his hotel and sleep. And then as soon as he woke up, he was ready to go to the gym.
How many calories do you think that guy takes in?
He just
a
took
day?
it. Oh, the only thing that I saw him eat the entire time he was here was that 7-Eleven piece of pizza, I believe.
Oh,
And that's like about like 350 right there.
he had to have. I mean,
I mean, it was pepperoni. You got like some
Maybe
protein
he
in there.
walked to the Denny's down the street later.
He did pack protein and stuff though, because like he brought a bag in with him, the Old School Iron, and he was just like mixing up like amino acids and like then like protein shakes. He like brought it all with him from Japan. Like I think that was like the majority of his checked bag was like protein powders.
You just need a little bit of carbs just for the energy out of that pizza.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this guy's just gonna. If I ate a 7-Eleven pizza before I went to the gym, I would fucking go home. I would
was
go home.
crushing fucking thin crust pizzas before I've been going to the gym lately, but I'm no one. to
Had
really
that
talk
cauliflower crust yet?
to. No,
That's good. Like,
the fuck?
I need some goddamn carbs, Dan. I need some energy.
I don't know, man. I think you've been carbing up a little too much.
I fucking did an hour on the bike yesterday. Watched a fucking nice documentary about Afghanistan.
I don't think there are any nice documentaries about Afghanistan.
You don't know that. No, it wasn't. We fucked up. But anyway.
jeez. What?
Well,
Nice transition.
yeah, moving on
Great
from there.
segue.
Well,
Good food at the Winchester.
should we discuss the turmoil of Dan's Day, or should we go into the card here?
Oh, no, because I'll fucking join in on the turmoil. Because
Oh.
I'm now getting PTSD, Private Theodore Stephen Dunlop on this shit. Because
it
I
goes.
remember, because I was driving the fucking truck that day, there was some weird shit with the fucking stage. Some
Weird
motherfucker
shit?
drove my car around, didn't notice there was a flat on the fucking car, destroyed my car, didn't have a car for a fucking month and a half because I couldn't afford some new fucking tires.
You couldn't have called anyone and be like, "Hey, you got a tire laying around?"
Yeah, well, guess what? I had
yeah.
The last time I called somebody, I had to pay the same I would at fucking Midas to fucking get the goddamn shit done. And I was like, you know what? I'll take it to the NTB up the street, get a warranty on this fucking tire. Is what the fuck I'm gonna do. Plus it was summer, get my walk on. But yeah, moral of the story, hey, if you're a fucking student and you're driving some wrestler's fucking car around and there's you're noticing maybe there's a flat tire, maybe pull over, maybe call somebody. I don't fucking know. But anyway,
How those
I was
levels
in a
doing?
mood.
Yeah,
Spiking.
he was in a mood. Somehow in the time said we're gonna timestamp on this. We're about a week after the most recent Winchester show. In the time it took to load the truck, get to the venue, and set the ring up, it took literally that amount of time for them to get the ring truck to the venue at the Sekimoto Takes Cleveland. I don't know how it happened, and the whole thing with the stage. You guys just didn't go get it. You guys forgot to get it.
Been fucking avoiding this shit for a while, and I assume that these students would know to say, hey, just go grab the fucking stage. No one fucking wants to speak up. Fucking makes me sick to my stomach. Take some goddamn initiative.
Well, that's because you were the king of the ring crew and you retired.
Yeah, well, I fucking abdicated my goddamn crown, and apparently nobody's picked it up.
We moved
Heavy as the head, right?
Logistics here.
That plays into Absolution.
Welcome to Logistics Talks, folks, on The Card is Going to Change.
Either way,
This is
so
like our TED
I
Talk.
was already, and then I was also bummed out about something else, and yeah, this was a bad show for me.
It was
Worldwide bummed out.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
You wonder why I tell you shouldn't put the pressures of producing your own podcast on yourself.
We'll see.
You're gonna create your own podcast.
Well, all right.
I already have an engineer
no.
ready
We'll
to
get,
go.
we'll
so.
get,
You already have a Patreon exclusive. You're fine. You already have an
Oh
outlet.
no, yeah. Well, I want the money from the Patreon exclusive.
Brother.
We have to check the ratings.
We'll consider your Patreon exclusive working
Anyway,
off
it was a shit
all
show.
the debts that you've accumulated with me.
I will pile up easily 13 more. We'll say $20 an episode of Worldwide, and we'll crank out.
Oh yeah,
13
you'll pay that off in about 7 years.
Yeah. Well, we'll just poop out 13 of those. I'm ready to go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the ring was set up by the showtime, and no one was the wiser. It was okay.
Because
Yeah,
the
you
thing,
guys don't know.
the thing that sucks about these Winchester shows is I can not get off of work
Right.
most of the time.
And also, a lot of the ring crew can't get off of work because they have their lives scheduled for shows on Fridays and Saturdays. So I should calm down about this because a lot of people have made those sacrifices on Fridays and Saturdays. But when the fucking people that show up on the Thursday are fucking dumb pieces of fucking shit. Yeah, you all see smiling, happy partying Worldwide. I have a lot of darkness inside of me. But anyway. But I understand and appreciate the work that everyone does on Thursdays. But god damn, this was a bad day.
And you want to know why we don't do more Thursday events?
Yeah.
Here we are.
It's hard out here.
Brunette.
I
brunette
changed-
But also, you don't see us posting giant threads on fucking Twitter about this. But anyway,
Well, I don't know if that's Sean.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
moved my Thursdays around to make sure the most recent
Facebook
one
behavior.
went smooth, and it did.
All right. So
it
we
was
got
good
there.
this last time around.
We got there. We were able to start the show on time.
I set Eric Ryan and Sekimoto up because Eric Ryan said it was like his dream to work out with Sekimoto.
Yeah.
And I think his dream became a nightmare because he saw how hard Sekimoto worked. And even he was like, man, he's not done yet.
Yeah, Eric Ryan loves the gym, but
Not as much as Sekimoto. Sekimoto loves the gym.
maybe Eric Ryan would be as big as Sekimoto.
Oh, and I do want to say, Sekimoto, one of the nicest men I've ever met in my life. There's a language barrier there, but niceness
Sweetheart.
niceness translates to all languages, and he is a very nice man.
Oh, big smile.
Large,
Full
sweet boy.
time.
Very happy to be there. Very, just super nice guy.
Gives you the two-hand handshake.
Yes, very thankful to be back in America.
Yeah.
I hope that guy becomes a millionaire one day because he's a gem. He is a gem of a man.
Deserves all the end.
I don't know how he's not. So, I mean, I guess I know, but anyway, as we go
He
into
works hard. He probably makes a lot of money in Japan.
Yeah. We go into the card then. We lead off with now
Well,
professional Parker Pierce.
Any other incidents, Dr.
No other
Dan, throughout the day?
incidents?
I don't think during that day.
I know that when I got off of work and I got there was still no entranceway, I think.
I got somehow the stage got forgotten.
Oh, and we had ordered new merch for this day. And
Oh yeah, and I brought the fucking merch, but then nobody ever took it out of the goddamn box.
Oh, the tank tops. I
Yeah.
thought that was Absolution.
No, yeah, that was Absolution.
That was Absolution. That wasn't
Absolution
this
was
day.
Absolution was the t-shirts, the tank tops. Because I was like, "Where's these tank tops? Where's these tank tops?" And then Worldwide walks in at like 6:15, throwing the biggest fit I've ever seen in my life, with boxes of tank tops, screaming. Which now I guess was about
my fucking car
His
and
car.
several other things.
I didn't even know about the car.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So we had the,
who was
Bitcoin
driving
boys.
your car.
Oh, one of the Bitcoin boys.
Oh, wow.
Well, he went
only one
up.
has
He
a
went up nice
license.
and high.
Oh,
He went
yeah.
up nice and high for my one-hand choke slam. So he's like, fine, I forgive him. It's okay. You're a himbo.
He means well.
He's just a little himbo, and he doesn't know what he's doing.
Okay, so
So that I pull up the stage letters again, walked in, so hurried up on that. Got that was all plugged in.
Dustin Alberti was hustling those tank tops, though. We sold out of the majority of them.
Yeah, did good. Did good. I know Dave Potato was trying
Shouts to Lotus Printing.
to sell them ringside as well. All right, now we can talk about the matches.
Yeah, let's go.
Professional Parker Pierce versus CPA.
This was supposed to be Professional Parker Pierce versus Bobby Beverly, but
I was going to say it's something else.
there was a miscommunication, because the Killbuck UXWA show was the week before this, I believe.
Which we should really do a Patreon episode about that day one of these days.
Well, maybe we'll do it tonight. I don't know. But because it was a day that needs to be
It's a hell of a day.
discussed. But Bobby Beverly was like, "Hey, I'm going to be there if you need anything." So I was like, "Oh, okay," So I was like, and CPA was around. CPA. I'm going to try to get on more shows because he is just the ultimate good brother.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude that likes good ideas.
That drives in and just drives in to help. Drives
Yeah.
all that way from New York just to do ring crew. No expectation of having a match.
Living that AJ Gray life.
So he was there. I saw him and I said, "Hey, you're on." Match one, because he was just there. Honestly, he just comes into every show that he can, and he was the first guy I saw, and I said, "CPA, you and Professional Parker Pierce."
They went up first. They did well. Dr. Dan, did you medal in this one?
I don't believe so at all.
No, you left
No
the
machinations?
meddling to a minimum on this one.
I
I
don't
think?
meddle, Steve.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't. What would be a good word?
Rat
Support.
fuck.
No support. You
What? No, stop.
What'd you say?
I will
Rat
say,
fuck.
I do think CPA is also finding a little bit of support throughout the audience as well. I know that there's a couple people that hate CPA, but he's starting to get a little bit of a cult following, and I'm noticing.
He's a good
I see
dude.
some CPA shirts
yeah, there's CPA shirts out there.
there.
He will die for this.
But
He will die for this.
I believe Parker Pierce picked up the victory.
He did.
Under this amazing tutelage of Dr. Dan.
See, Parker Pierce.
Oh,
turned
I'm
it around.
sure there was some fucking balderdash involved.
And
Balder.
one more thing about CPA before I forget, I just want to say I'm very jealous because I believe he will later this month at Creative Pro, he's going to be tying it up with Julio De Niro.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's in some crazy ass ECW legend match, and Julio
Man,
De
do you think
Niro is
Easy
one
Money
of
is going to make a run in?
them. He's not there, but it's a cast of characters.
Then we go into Alley Cat versus Super Oprah, and this was a spectacle.
Yes,
Yeah.
this was. If you were one of those people that are like, I just like watching wrestling that's on TV. I don't like to buy DVDs. I'll listen to this podcast, buy this DVD, MP4, whatever is out there, because this match is awesome.
It's something else. Poor Xavier Franklin, our young referee,
Welcome
right
to
in the
the
middle of
business.
this. Yeah, that's his welcome to the business match.
Super Oprah came through the curtain, was like, he's a man today.
I feel bad because Super Oprah earns a little bit of a place on the roster and then gets incarcerated and misses Wrestle Rager, and then that's kind of how the train keeps moving. And now Super Robo's been saying, "Look, I've been trying to fill some dates in my calendar for 2020," and I'm just like, I can't book people like that far out. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we had you for the dates. No, but this was fun and wild, and when you say those two names, I'm sure a vision probably comes into your head, and it was that and more, I think is fair.
Oh, it that question, what matches exceeded your expectations? This one.
This was one. From there we go into 40 Acres. PB Smooth, Trey Lamar taking on the Weird World.
What was this like for you?
I'm trying to remember what the hell happened in this match. Something happened.
Weird Body got
what kind
the
of-
shit kicked out of him.
Well, I mean, that's like a lot of the Weird World matches, but
Yeah.
wait, AJ Gray and
No, PB and Trey.
Oh, PB and
no
Trey.
AJ Gray here on this night.
I have no memory of this match, but I remember I was fucking miserable afterwards. Probably because I was already like bummed out on the tire thing. Also, I think I have like a curse at the Winchester, where every other match at the Winchester, just I don't enjoy and like feel is shitty, and like also, and I've had like matches that like I didn't enjoy or like felt like weren't good, and that I could have done better in. And, like, I don't want to die afterwards, but, like, for some reason, the Winchester ones, like, just, like, fucking decimate me. Destroy me.
I mean, this match, it was fine.
And, yeah, it was probably fine, but there was something about it. Oh, yeah, also, yeah, I just pressed up all those tank tops because, like, we got, like, a deal. And I was like, oh, I'm going to make so much money on these tank tops. But the Winchester is not a good place to sell merchandise.
Worldwide, this
if you're a
is
wrestler.
this is what I was trying to explain to you off air. You have all these grand ideas about money making
just
schemes, and then they don't pan out, because this has happened multiple times with you getting overly ambitious about your merchandise sales, and I think you were overly ambitious about your podcast / multimedia empire
Well, that has
you were
not
pitching
even
to me
happened
earlier.
Yet, so we can't even put a tombstone on
But
that
what I'm
yet.
saying is,
The keyword is schemes. By the way.
I think you get overly excited, and then when the reality kicks in,
Well, no, the fucking reality is you
didn't sell shit. You didn't sell shit. You didn't sell
Ethan
shit.
Page can fucking attest to this.
You didn't sell
and
shit.
Several other wrestlers that sell much more fucking merchandise.
sold
than
every
I
fucking tank top.
Cannot sell shit at the fucking Winchester. It sucks. There's no fucking lighting. The tables suck.
Ethan Page
There's no
sold some
fucking room.
stuff.
Yeah, he sold some shit, but you could see in his eyes that he was miserable and pissed.
no, he wants
at
to
the
be on
fucking merchandise selling situation.
He requested to be on every Winchester show.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Fucking
Don't
good on
get-
him.
also-
I can see it in his eyes.
Worldwide,
He's
the
fucking
big-
pissed off about the lighting
Also,
situation.
hold on. Let's not breeze over the fact that Worldwide compared himself to Ethan Page
No,
as,
I'm saying,
as
he's
equal merchandise
he's a
sellers.
motherfucker that enjoys selling merchandise. I'm a motherfucker that enjoys selling merchandise.
Unsuccessfully.
He's going to sell more merchandise than me. And guess what? You can see in his eyes. He comes in and he's like, fuck this lighting. You have to fucking shine your goddamn. I'm gonna bring fucking like a goddamn fucking spotlight next time because there's no fucking lighting. There's no fucking access to the goddamn shit. I'm speaking for every fucking worker.
Well, the last Winchester show, I just said no merchandise, motherfuckers.
I know. And so we just went from the ring, which also sucked, but whatever. Yeah. So guess what? If you're gonna work at the Winchester, just know. Sell the shit in the goddamn fucking dining room. Don't sell it in the fucking show space.
Why didn't you go to the dining room?
Yes. Not a
Well,
bad
fucking
idea.
now we've learned that lesson 4 shows fucking later.
Well, you gotta get
You're a
some
man that gets overly ambitious about your
I
merchandise.
have a lot of
sales.
passion.
What about that time where you're like, I got this great idea. I'm going to go buy a bunch of shirts from the thrift store, and then
forgot about
I'm
that.
gonna print one of a kind Weird World merch on like these already existing shirts.
Oh, whatever.
Was that
If
the
I had,
weird-
like,
was
some
that the Weird
cutesy
World
fucking
was a
brand,
hack?
and I was booked on a bunch of fucking like Chikara Jason shows, I'd fucking have people fucking paying fucking $15 for that shit and fucking like thinking like that it was
You
like.
went to one. Did you
the
sell
hottest
out all
fucking
your
thing.
merch or what?
We sold a decent amount of merch.
There you go.
Yeah, the first Halifax show fucking murdered on merch. Second one still did solid.
But okay, were those thrift store T-shirts and hoodies? Were those the Weird World Athletic Club, or were
You
those the
fucking
Weird
get a
World's a
goddamn
hack?
hoodie for $15 and you're fucking not gonna take that as a fan? You fucking should just like go fucking like put your head on the fucking train tracks for
He's
at
like,
least
"Answer that
5 minutes
question."
I was
straight
fired up.
because you don't have a fucking brain in your head. But anyway, Yeah.
How about those jet skis? Anyway,
moving on.
Moving on. It was a match, and
This was a match that
I'm sure it was fine.
I thought that I had a picture of you looking totally miserable selling stuff. I think that image that's in my head is on Ethan Page's vlog from this event.
Oh yeah.
You look totally miserable, and but the picture I did have was you wrote "gig" on all of your taped fingers.
Oh yeah. That's something that I've added to the repertoire lately.
Is that your new part of your new gear?
I've been taping up my fingers without gigs for a long time, and then I was like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I just wrote gig on all my fingers?
Maybe there might be one in there.
Yeah. Well, I just want to fake people out and shit.
Yeah. Keep us away from each other for a while. So
you're playing. That's what they call wrestling psychology there.
Yeah.
Well,
I have it every once in a while. Blind squirrels and acorns, they find them.
there was a run-in at the end of the match. After this match ended, the production came out
Oh, yeah.
and attacked PB and Trey to exact some revenge
Good for them.
on them because they were at full strength, they said. Eddie Only finally healed up after...
This show, I will say, was booked like the go-home fucking show for Absolution. A lot of... pretty angle heavy where it could happen at.
Yeah, so those three making a statement with no AJ Gray there, going after the remaining members of 40 Acres that were present. And then speaking of rolling into Absolution, that we talk about on a hot streak, and we just mentioned Ethan Page, our next match, Big Twan Tucker and Ethan Page.
Awesome. This match is awesome.
Absolutely phenomenal match.
Twan is a guy and this is from my point of view, is he has found his connection with the crowd.
Oh, sure.
However, I am not comfortable with his work. It could be a lot better, And that's not saying he's bad. I just see things with a different eye that, he could maybe tighten up on, and that's just based on the fact that he has not worked with a ton of veterans.
Right.
So this was a Ethan Page, let's get Twan ready to go. And he was very happy with it.
I saw Twan recently fucking innovate a move I've never seen before in my life. I think Dan might have saw it. You might have saw it too, John. Fucking was, it was like a hybrid crossbody frog splash
Fez press. It was amazing. It was
I was like,
but it was phenomenal.
That's the best thing in the world. It's going to break somebody's knee one day, but it's a fucking amazing. And I told him, and he's like, I was just going for like a Veda. And I'm like, well, you need to see video of that and fucking start doing that all the goddamn time because it was the most beast fucking thing I've seen in a minute.
And the Manders match they just had, I think. Is that what we're talking about?
No. This was Uxwa.
Oh, I just saw a thing of it. Somebody, I think, gifted out.
Yeah, so this was more of a, hey, let's get Twan a good learning experience. And Ethan Page was very happy with it. I think Twan did very good.
So happy that at the end of this match, Ethan Page wants the microphone and gives Twan credit and builds him up to the point of comparing him to Ahmed Johnson.
Yeah, and that is a good comparison in the best way possible.
Absolutely.
And Ethan Page made sure to clarify that.
Yes.
I would love for fucking Twan to, same as Parker Pierce, just hit that goddamn gym.
Yeah, I want Twan to hit that gym to where he could be
He's got such a wide frame. He could have this.
We could get Twan
Cobra from hell back.
We could get him in those fucking Ahmed Johnson trunks. You know what I mean?
He's got the knee pads.
Yeah, he don't need to have the fucking. He don't need to be shredded up, but he could put some muscle on.
Beef it out.
Yeah, this is great.
I'm still beating him in the Muay Thai strength test gimmick, so that shouldn't be.
He's got to get to the gym.
Ethan Page encourages him to take it to MJF the following week.
But if you get the DVD, VOD, MP4, or whatever, look at the pre-show or the pre-match angle with Ethan Page and Twan, because that is absolutely phenomenal. Also,
what do you mean by the pre-match angle?
Goes right before the match started. Ethan Page, let Twan hold another title belt. You got to see how it unfolds.
Oh, this is
fantastic
on the
moment.
DVD.
Yeah.
Fantastic moment.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Oh, before the match. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what he was talking about. I didn't know if you meant the promos
remember
early
now.
in the night. Yeah, but this
Sorry
one...
to clarify.
No, you're good. This one was Ethan Page, consummate professional. Fantastic. Does a great job with that.
He will be making his return in 2020.
There you go. It's good news. You heard it here first, folks.
It's a long year.
And then we roll into
I got plans for 2020.
You always do. A four-way. Mikey Montgomery, the Mighty Millennial, taking on Eric Ryan, Eric Taylor, and Lee Moriarty, all thrown together here in a four-way. And, these guys, of course, go flying all over the place, much as you would expect.
Yeah, and this was just another one of those learning experience sort of things. Eric Ryan has been, we haven't covered Absolution yet, but Eric Ryan has been doing more agenting and producing behind the scenes. And, I thought this was good for him to get in and work with these young guys and, like, firsthand, show them things and, kind of, it's all about expediting the process of getting these guys maybe readier than maybe they should be.
And like you said last week, you're talking about the Bitcoin boys doing some tandem offense in the scramble at the tag team tournament. They do it again here in a four-way.
Right. Some offense on my car, I'll tell you that much.
leading us to their eventual teaming, but not on this night.
Why does every wrestler I face fuck up my car up?
This is the only legitimate gripe you actually have.
When did you face the Bitcoin boys?
Fucking Wrestle Rager.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what
right.
it was. He was fucking planting seeds right there. He's like, I'm going to fucking derail it. I'm going to fucking just drive on this fucking flat tire. Little motherfucker.
Playing the long game.
God damn it.
That's all the Duke. That's the Duke veteran
you guys
influence.
always tingling up with the Duke.
One of my big weaknesses. That and my balls.
Duke had all this in his mind. He was playing the long game. Knew he was going to have the Bitcoin boys. Knew somehow he's going to find his way
He's
against
like,
the
I
weird
know
world
fucking
again at Wrestle
Worldwide only
Rager.
lives like less than a mile away from the venue, but I'd take out his car. You can't make it there.
Oh, yeah. And then we go into one of my favorite matches of the evening, Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham and Kikutaro. This was, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is kind of like a dream match for you, Dr. Dan, right?
Yeah. I've been a lot of talks with like Thorne and a couple other like people around the area of like trying to find my wheelhouse of what my niche of like doing well, because like I'm not like a PWG 5-star indie match performer. Like finding my niche of like
much to your fucking dismay.
Yeah. Well, I've been learning that slowly over the last, because like everyone wants to like have that like high point in their career of like, oh man, I got to do this and that. But
I can say that you definitely have learned that lesson.
Yes,
based on recent experience.
Yes,
I don't know.
absolutely.
Did you see him in fucking Boomer Hatfield at fucking UXWA? Lucha Dan was in the fucking house.
I didn't do one single lucha move. I only based for all of them.
Okay, continue
Anyway.
though. Before you continue, I just want to clarify yet again on this podcast that I pay people in dreams.
Yeah, there you go. So continue.
No, I was finding my wheelhouse and
Tell my landlord about those dreams.
get paid exposures.
Your rent is like $75 a month.
It's easily a little over twice that.
Is your rent
For
like
4
100
people.
exposures? All right. But yeah, no, I'm just
Cash App is Tower Skin. I will sell you foot pics, etc.
dude, stop. You're killing me.
All right, so you Kikutaro.
Yeah, it was just finding my wheelhouse of getting my, basically getting my ass kicked, people enjoying it and having like good, underrated, like no one expects me to have a good match, and then my comedy stuff. It's what I've really been trying to work on, and being able to wrestle like some of these bigger comedy guys like over the past year has really helped. There's a couple more left on the indies. I don't know how many will be, around for long, bigger, funny haha guys.
Do you, especially because we talk about language barrier, Kikutaro he speaks English well, but it's not his native language. Is he a great example of a guy that you can watch and you're like, oh man, sometimes less is more?
Oh yeah, I can't tell you, I watched like a handful of different like Kikutaro matches to try to get an idea, because he's, all the different things he does. He does a lot of different stuff. So
Yeah.
you just gotta. So I literally walked and I showed him a video. I'm like, hey, I want this is my idea. Like I want to do something like this. And then he asked me about, what would you do with this situation? Trying to go back and forth, and talking to him, like trying to get ideas of, going back and forth. I think my favorite moment was, he's like, oh, maybe you do a big move here. And I show him the video of like my weird power bomb I did on Joey Ryan. He goes, no. He's like,
Yeah, he's not taking that.
something else. And I'm like, and I show him like a different move. He goes, okay, it'd be much better. Yeah, I like it popped me so hard because I like since Joey oils up, like I kind of lost him in midair, so like I lofted him a little higher, so it came down like tighter. It looked really really good on video, but it looked too good for him. He goes, yeah, no.
I would, if I was Dr. Dan, I would be trying to set up as many B towns as possible because Dr. Dan really excels on the extra show schedule.
I did forget to point out that Kikutaro, of course, comes out endearing himself in the middle of baseball season to the Cleveland Indians fans wearing the jersey of his favorite Cleveland Indian of all time, Tanaka, who is an outfielder only in Major League 2. So that was great.
He let everybody know about
jersey.
the amount of marbles they had.
He did.
0.
That was the only thing I was sad about. I wish he would have wrestled in the jersey.
Oh, he didn't want to mess that jersey up.
I really
He folded
that was the only thing. He folded.
Yeah, that thing cost
killed
me fucking money.
That absolutely killed me.
And
I
I
was
was
like having a fucking Chiefs jersey from fucking Slapshot. Those things are like fucking like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, I tell you what, I was
PH man.
I was not putting that jersey in the back with everybody else's gear. He folded it to me. I held onto it the entire time, and I gave it right back to him, folded at the end of the match.
Yeah, Kikutaro is he's great, but like I said, if I was Dr. Dan, I'd be trying to find some of these extra shows because Dr. Dan always gets the big marquee matches on the B loop.
I really liked it. Poor Kikutaro actually was taking his time to read the pamphlet, and you were actually getting frustrated that someone was trying to learn your pamphlet, Dan.
It doesn't happen very often. I think everyone's messing with me.
I think you were thrown off, I guess. Well, Kikutaro wanted to know all the words.
He was trying to fucking taste the bull shark you were serving up, and
he asked me to read it for him, and then he just sneakily got me. See?
So were you happy with the match, though?
Absolutely.
You should be. This is a fun one to watch. Right now on the DVD, if you're watching matches, I'll tell you, Alley Cat, Super Oprah, Twan Tucker, Ethan Page, Dr. Dan, Kikutaro. I mean,
all good.
Those are all good.
This show is a very sleeper show.
It is. Yeah, it really is. And then we go into, speaking of sleepers and things that'll sneak up on you, Euthanasia taking on PME, Josh Prohibition and M-Dog, Matt Cross rolling in to tag once again.
This was another, let's get some guys in with some veteran guys so they can learn something, heading into Absolution. And, I really loaded this show up because, it was so close to Absolution. And, we could get some guys on this one that weren't going to be on Absolution and stuff like that. And, it's always good for PME to be able to learn more because those guys are like sponges, man, and they continue to improve.
Yeah. And, this one, hot one right out the gate and pretty much maintain that energy throughout the whole thing. But you got to take advantage of those Matt Crosses in Cleveland for 3 days opportunities. They don't happen often.
He'll be back December 27th.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's our December date, by the way.
That's just, I feel like
several months around Europe.
He's usually good at least for that date every year.
To be named at a later date because I don't know what we're going to do on it yet.
Christmas show. Yeah. Post-Christmas show.
We had a hard enough time trying to find Christmas in July names. I think we're going to find a normal Christmas name.
Yeah. Usually a Home Alone theme somehow. But
Old Man Marley presents.
Then we roll into the match that people were talking about for some time afterwards. So much so that I believe they ran it back at some point.
In Japan.
KTB taking on Sekimoto, and yeah.
I will tell you guys, I fucking was miserable, and I went out, I got undressed after our match, and I fucking chain smoked and slammed 2 beers and a shot. And then I came in and I was standing next to Thorne halfway through this match. And they were just going through exchanges with fucking abdominal stretches and it was very basic, just big man wrestling type shit. And I fucking smiled ear to ear, and I was like, I don't feel like shit right now. This is what pro wrestling is.
I mean, you want to talk about
a
Haas match?
Yeah, this was great.
This is a great fucking match.
If these two are in our Haas division, you have no chance at that boot.
No. Well, luckily,
fucking
Sekimoto is pretty expensive and unavailable, and KTB, here and there.
It's trying to go after some
I
other
loved it. I mean, there's not a lot to say about it other than I loved it, and people need to seek it out because it is a very, very good match, and probably I think it was one of his best matches of this little loop that he did. He only did 4, but It was very good.
A lot of people said online it was like the best match of the whole weekend. People that like were in Cleveland and then watched like the other matches, they said that was like the best one of the whole loop.
People were going crazy. In fact, this match, I believe, is one of the things that then led to the discussion of, all right, maybe we can do the Janela streaming, because so many people were upset that they didn't see this match and everybody was going crazy for it that had watched it.
Well, it was asked of me if they had internet then, just to kind of address this or whatever. And then when, like, after the fact, like, Robles was there and he was like, does this place have internet? Once he was seeing the lay of the land or whatever. Then, once we set the Janela thing up, we had them do a test, and the numbers came back a little lower than expected. Mm-hmm. So they did not feel comfortable doing a stream, on the level of internet that they had. Once it became Alex Shelley versus Joey Janela, Smart Mark decided, like, maybe we'll roll the dice. Like, it's workable, but, like, what they explained to me is, like, if the credit card machine sends out the reports or whatever, like, connects and sends the credit reports out or whatever it does, that could crash the stream. Like, and there's no telling when that happens because the internet was, like, right on the verge there. So.
Wow.
Oh, it was one of those, like, during the day at some point they send out, like,
it like sends out
form.
it sends out, like, the report, like, over the internet or whatever.
So if it happens at noon, they're fine. But if it happened at 9:58,
it would have crashed the stream. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's your backstory on that, everything. But yeah, listen, if you want something that's hard hitting and hardcore maybe isn't your cup of tea, but this
guys hitting each other
is.
so hard, the beads of sweat are hitting the crowd, giving them legitimate,
that
like,
good misty splat. Yeah.
Unreal.
And the things that these two are able to do is, like, yeah, it's a big man match, but there's elements of small
very
guy
athletic.
stuff in
Yeah,
there.
very
Incredibly athletic. Go out of your way to just freaking watch this match. Then we roll into our final match of the evening, and I'm going to read you the names who are in it, and you could just guess from there what kind of chaos ensued. You have the Rip City Shooters, Josh Bishop and Maserati Wes Barkley teaming up with Tim Donst on their side, taking on Matthew Justice, Dominic Greeny, and Nick Gage. And
chaos ensued.
This kind of went into the crowd.
Kinda.
Might have been doors involved. This was a moment that was somewhat going into a lead into Absolution with the Matt Justice is going to take on Wes Barkley at that point, Tim Donst and Dom Greeny, and then Nick Gage is just, why wouldn't you throw Nick Gage in if you have him available on a Thursday night?
Hey, you might as well. And this was kind of Nick Gage's participation was really to let's establish the him and Zach thing a little more. You know what I mean? Like I said, like, this was kind of set up as a go home show, so, like, there was little subtle stories being told, throughout the show, and no better time to do that than this one. And we get Wes Barkley and the Nick Gage thing, in which I knew that we'd be able to pay off later. I mean, it was a perfect storm of a main event, I think.
We talked about this on another podcast, I believe. But Zach Thomas comes out, wails Nick Gage with that piece of broken door.
Disgusting.
Now that you've had time to reflect back on it, still one of the grossest things ever.
Yeah, because, I mean, I know that we discussed this, but after the show, Nick Gage had wood sticking out directly under his eye, and he had no idea, and it was like splinters, like, disgusting.
Not a care in the world
fear.
either.
No, not to give one fuck. He didn't even know.
This is also the match after which Nick Gage cuts the promo. We've talked about it again before.
Oh, no.
But hilarious at this point because he is scheduled to have a match with Zach Thomas at Absolution, and they are supposed to have a match. Just that, a wrestling match.
And it was, the story initially was Nick Gage could prove that that he could wrestle as well.
Yeah. But instead,
Zach Thomas
hits him with the door.
Gage was fired up after that door smack to the head. He
Just calls it on the fly. It's like, what do you do?
He says, "Now that means we're having a death match." And that was sad. Poor Jackson.
Sadly, I
Motherfucking
missed that
deathmatch.
main because I fucking Weird Body had wisely told me to go the fuck home, which was because I was in such a state of misery. And apologies to any fans I interacted with if I was less than gregarious or happy or worldwide. But yeah,
There's a lot of $5 words today.
A lot of them, yeah.
like I
Son
said,
of an English major.
son of a goddamn English major and a marketing man. Though the marketing man fucking his house is in foreclosure. It's fine. Anyway, fucking but yeah,
Did you read
I
the
fucking it
thesaurus on
sounds
that
great.
bike?
But yeah, then Weird Body sent me home because he wisely knew I was in no condition to be around humans, and eventually I just dragged my Pete to class and drank all the whiskey until I fell asleep. I don't know where, but sounds like it was fun.
We just the match was fun. It was a lot of fun, and then there was cleanup to be had, and everything go off without a hitch there.
Everything went fine. Everything got put back properly.
I'm happy to hear that
fine.
it was smoother at the end than it was during the beginning.
Very much so.
Because Jesus Horatio Christ.
I think Dr. Dan got my wrath after the event based on
A little?
the logistics.
Not
problems.
fair. I fucking dropped the ball since I was
Dr.
trying.
Dan
Between
was
you and
just
other
there.
students who now
Dr.
after
Dan
the
is just
fact-
Dr. Dan is just there sometimes, and he gets it, and he got it, especially after I had a couple cocktails.
I was gonna say, I believe that you had a couple cocktails.
I was fired up about various things throughout the
Yeah.
event of the logistics and I let a couple people have it.
I
know
was gonna
that.
say you were letting a variety of people know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on.
Meanwhile,
various
recently
items.
the shows have been going so smoothly that you're like just looking for things to get bummed out about.
Maybe
I've
that's-
been
that might
having a
be-
great September. I had a great September, and
August
was
pretty
good
good.
too.
Good.
Yeah.
Everything minus this Winchester show for like almost 3/4 of this year has been great.
Yeah,
that
good.
one Winchester show, and I caught Thorne on just the right amount of frustration and booze, and that was a very long, quiet car ride home.
You're a strong dude to take
Just
it.
trying to think. I mean, the beauty of the Winchester is you don't have to move the after party. We stayed there, had a few more
You say that.
cocktails. I think. I mean, you don't always have to.
Well, as long as all the boys,
Get there.
keep their bodily fluids in their
Well,
bodies.
they've like added $2 beers to the menu, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good. I don't remember. I think we probably stayed. I don't remember.
Yeah, we did, but not for terribly long. I don't.
I was
think.
doing promotional
like-
work at Now That's Class.
I feel
for
like we might have went to
WrestleMania.
the Funhouse. I don't remember.
No, not on this night. Not on this night.
That was recently.
On this night, we stayed there, and then eventually,
Get the
parted
burger or the
ways.
Winchester, everyone.
I think we just didn't stay. I think we didn't hang very long.
A lot of people don't hang because it's Thursday. So
Yeah.
yeah, that bar emptied out pretty quick. I think. It
Oh
was
yeah,
just-
and you did not have the day off the next day.
No, I think I did.
I think that you weren't able to get that Friday off.
I know
for
it
some
was for
reason.
the Session Moth one. I couldn't get the day off, but I think I
Maybe
got
that's
the
what I was
day
thinking
off.
of. Okay.
I
See,
think.
look, that's the every other rule right there in
Yeah.
effect, because the last Winchester show before this one was the Session Moth one,
Yeah.
which was swimming.
Yeah, and I regretted not taking the next day off because that was such a wild party.
It
So
was, yeah.
I took this day off, and I think that it's not a wild party.
Did you come to the after for the Session Moth show?
No, because I had to go to work the next
Oh
day.
yeah, that was like Session Moth, G Raver, all manner
Oh,
of
this
humans
was
at
that
the
show.
Worldwide compound.
Yeah, I went to the after. I was
Yeah, that
popped
was a good
over
time.
there. Yeah.
I was moving also.
You were moving this weekend?
That's because I just bought the house.
Yeah.
So I was getting everything out of my apartment. So literally, I was.
With that blood money.
Hey, first of all, no. Second of all, they're just nice donations, okay? But yeah, it was.
You were
that just
stressed out.
added to the stress.
Adrenochrome from the children? Epstein!
First of all, you keep saying this.
I don't know.
I
You
don't
keep saying
understand.
these things to me.
Worldwide is too involved in current events of shit that I don't care about.
He just keeps crushing more beers.
Yeah, I guess it's been like, it's been a few.
Between that and my and the quote unquote hairpiece stuff that you and Thorne keep pushing on people.
I
Come
don't
on,
touch
man.
the hairpiece
Way
stuff.
to bring it back, though.
I'm very sensitive about the hair.
People like it. People
man.
like it.
All right, let's wrap it up.
I mean, that's generally it. I don't know that we after party too hard at this one.
I did just elsewhere. And
You
it
did
was a
just
2-week
elsewhere,
bender.
yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, I don't remember too much of note.
Yeah. So
I
that's,
partied so hard I missed Absolution. I'm sorry.
that did happen. Yeah, Worldwide continued on his down
That's story for the
turn or
Absolution
whatever. But
podcast.
that's pretty much going to wrap it up here. Again, go out of your way. This one's worth grabbing. A sleeper show, as John said. Alley Cat, Super Oprah is one of a
KTB
kind.
Sekimoto.
KTB Sekimoto, one of a kind. Dr. Dan Kikutaro is its own thing. The main event, if you just love complete chaos, that's worth grabbing. I mean, Matt Justice and Nick Gage in one match on the same side. You know you're going to get chaos. So that's pretty much going to wrap this one up here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and you'll tune in next week for Worldwide, Dr. Dan,
Worldwide.
John Thorne. My name's Steve Guy. We'll talk to you next week right here on The Card is Going to Change.